Oh no, you're exactly backwards.
Got my good side.
Which one's your good side?
The back.
How are workouts going so far?
They've been good. They've been good. I've been. We've gone very slow. It's been very fundamental based. Today will actually be the first day that, because of the recruiting calendar that we get into, kind of maximizing time. It'll be the first time we've actually put our whole group together. So we'll do a 1 hour team workout today. But guys have gotten better. They've improved. We try this time of year to take some of the individual weaknesses that they may have and help them get better at it. But as I've said many times, we spend a lot of time on ball handling, passing, those fundamentals, and shooting, and that's something we've done a lot of to this point.
Why is T-John went out of his way to say the ball handling is probably the biggest difference that you noticed? Why is that such an important part of what you try to do?
Well, we play positionless, and we've done that throughout my 10 years as head coach, and literally everybody has to handle the ball. I'm a big believer that you're only as good an offensive player as you are ball handler, and multiple guys handle the ball for us. We're not locked into just one guy. Michael Finke will have to put the ball on the floor at different times. So being able to go with both hands, being able to make moves with the ball is a big part of what we try to do in terms of attacking. So ball handling is a vital part of their individual improvement and ultimately our team success.
I saw an article with Brad Stevens talking about positionless basketball. Do you see this also preparing guys for the next level?
I think it translates absolutely. I think the one thing that we try to make good basketball players and not label somebody by a number or a position. And I like versatility. I think versatility wins. I think the game is pretty simple. When you can pass, when you can dribble, and when you can shoot it, there's a place for you. And it's our job to find those places and put them in the best position to score, no matter what size you are. So, the college game mimics a lot the NBA game. I think the shorter shot clock has forced a little bit of positionless basketball, so to speak. But I've never had a lot of size, so we've been forced to play it throughout my career, and it's fun, and I think players really enjoy playing that way.
What are you seeing from T.J. Both of us from a basketball and a leadership standpoint?
The biggest thing is from the leadership standpoint, and I'm traditionally pretty hard on point guards. A lot of demands. They're the quarterback. They're the Tom Brady of our team, and his responsibility is not just knowing what he does, but being accountable for the other guys on the court and being the voice and starting to think the way the head coach does, and he's made tremendous strides and tremendous improvements in that. Physically, he's gotten better, absolutely. His body's changed a great deal. He's gotten stronger. I think he fits from a tempo standpoint what we want to do and how we want to play in terms of pushing it. Exceptional passer, and he showed continued improvement in his offensive game. So I've been very, very pleased. But the leadership category's been one with I've been very, very excited about.
Is anyone else stepping up there that you've seen?
Yeah, Finke. Michael's been great. I think that leadership is something that you don't force. This summer, it's been great for me to be around these guys as much as I have been, just to witness and see how guys act. I think that everybody tries to do it a little bit and is trying. The more the merrier, so to speak. Some guys are just uncomfortable with it. But I don't care if it's a freshman. We've seen tremendous leadership here in the last week from Mark Smith. And so it's something that I've been pleased with, but Michael's a very vocal guy. He's a very emotional guy, and his passion is shown through.
It seems like when we talk about your style, we end up talking about offense, but what are you seeing defensively that makes you feel one way or another about this?
I don't know. We weren't very good yesterday, but yesterday was really the first day to be quite honest, that we have taught one thing defensively, and it was literally a basic fundamental stance, a few things that we talk about in concepts. We'll start spending a little more time this month on that side of things. It's, again, to this point, it's been solely about their improvement, individual improvement, and making them better. Very little team stuff. We'll start putting a little of that in conceptually. And again, we have a couple guys that aren't here, so we don't want to jump too far ahead and lose guys in the process. But we'll work on some fundamental things defensively.
Talk about the freshmen, Coach. What are you seeing from them? And DeMonte, where's he at from a physical standpoint right now with his knee?
Well, I like all those freshmen a lot. I've been very, very pleased. I'll tell you, the biggest thing I enjoy is they all have personality. They all have a demeanor about them, a little bit of swagger. Trent has a lot of that. He's a very confident young man. But it's a talented group, and they don't know anything. They think they know a little bit, but they really don't know much in terms of what's coming their way yet. And yet, their work ethic, their culture, their commitment to what we're doing has been great, not just on the court, but in the weight room. And it's a huge adjustment, but I've been very, very pleased with each and every one of them. They've been tremendous to this point.
Coach, given the post depth issue, what do you want to see out of Evo, Greg, as we go along here in the summer and fall?
Effort, rebounds. As we look forward, those are things that he can do. He's got a steep learning curve, as all freshmen do. So it's just about gaining knowledge. He's an elite athlete. I mean, elite. He's a guy that's capable of doing things that not many guys are athletically. And yet, you've got to learn. And so gaining knowledge, understanding, trying to figure out the physicality of the game, all those things are important. But he's a very athletic, very talented young man.
What is DeMonte's situation? Is he doing anything?
Yeah, he is. He's been doing a little bit of just slight movements. He's been taking part in our ball handling, our passing. He actually shot a layup the other day for the first time. He's been doing some stationary things. He's got another test this week to test his quad strength to see if he's gained 100% of his strength back there, and that will allow him to move on. But been very pleased with what he's been able to do, his progress. He continues to work very hard at his rehab, and Paul, our trainer, has been very pleased with him to this point. So we'll continue and expect to see full improvement as we continue through the summer.
Probably way too early for this, but he's planning to play him this
Absolutely. Absolutely. Until we find out otherwise.
3 July evaluation periods coming up. I know you can't talk about specific players, obviously, but what do you and your staff want to get accomplished here in July?
A lot. It's the biggest summer we'll have. It's the biggest summer we'll have. And I say that from this standpoint. They're all big, but this is the summer where it's a new staff, and you're somewhat behind. We're trying to catch up. We're still in evaluation process with 19s, with 20s, and yet we've got to buckle down and hone in and get caught up and continue to work 18s and guys that we feel great about and that fill our needs. So it's a very, very important time, and it's important for us to be seen, and it's also an important time for us to evaluate, and evaluation's the key word there. We haven't seen them all, and we, there's probably some guys that we're going to recruit that we have not aren't the common names or the names that you've seen. We've still got to do a good job of evaluating. Our guys now understand a little bit about our system and what we're looking for, and there'll be a guy or two pop up.
How much July different than the April evaluation periods?
Yeah, it'll be a lot. It'll be a lot. I think it's more important to that our staff understands what our system is, what we're doing a little more. They've actually seen it, not just looked at it on film or had me talk about it. They get a grasp for what we're about in terms of our culture. So there's guys out there. That's why I say there's guys out there that will pop up. but yet we've made contact with guys, we've built relationships. Now it's about showing that love and continuing to strengthen those relationships. So, we're behind, but we're a lot farther along than we were in April.
Coach, when you look at the roster,
About this time last year, you were doing the same thing, getting your players, doing fundamental stuff like that. I feel like the exact were you kind of doing the same thing over this year?
I haven't thought about it really. Yeah, I mean, I think I believe in what I know, and it works. I'm confident in that. I'm excited about how this group has committed with both feet in to doing that, and the fact that we're going to do the same thing next summer. So the name on the front of the uniform is different, but the way we're approaching things is very much the same as we did a year ago.
Just getting to know these guys more and easier, the fact that you did this last year.
Yeah, I think it's building relationships is the biggest part of what we do. So I think we can continue to nurture those relationships and understand that that's part of what we do.
One question about Jeff on your staff. That's an important position. And he can't be a yes man, can he? He's got to feel empowered to tell you you're crazy or you've lost your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's got to be able to disagree with you. Is that right?
That's why I hired it.
Exactly.
That's why I hired it. And I want that from all my staff. I'm secure enough in who I am. I don't need yes men. I need guys that will challenge me every day. I also need guys that throw ideas from a creative standpoint at me. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat, so to speak, and yet 80% of them I may not do, and they need to keep coming back with that. And Jeff's a wonderful basketball mind. He knows me personally. He's been around me. He's worked with me before. So there's a tremendous comfort level that I have with him and him with me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's a big part of, I think, helping make me a better coach.
Coach, when you look at your roster and that 2018 class, what do you feel like you need to come away with at the end of the class? Where's the focus areas for that?
Good players? Not there.
Yeah.
I think we're recruiting every position. I think it all plays out. I think that you can't get into specific needs. I'm always going to have an abundance of perimeter players. I like the versatility. I like different pieces. I don't like them to look alike or play alike. And having guys that could be really skilled and not as athletic, or then the next guy, I want him to be a really good athlete who could guard multiple positions. So like pieces, I think we're looking for guys that have a motor. I think we're looking for guys that don't want to be just good, they want to be great. And most importantly, I'm looking for guys that want to wear this eye and do that with pride and play for the name on the front.
How do people respond to the eye in far-flung locations? Maybe some people didn't even realize there had been a coaching change. Maybe some people have a different perception of Illinois. What have you encountered so far?
It's been nothing but great. It's probably been as good nationally, worldwide, as it has been in the state. And I think that's a tribute to how good our staff is. I think it's a tribute to how well connected they are. There's a lot of respect. I think everybody knows how great Illinois basketball can be, and I think that's something that everybody knows. For whatever reason, I'm not getting into. It hasn't been where it's capable of being, but everybody knows how great this program is.
When do your other two guys arrive?
August. Start of school in the fall.
So with those two, I mean, you're going to have as many or maybe more newcomers and returning guys. What do you make thoughts on reshaping the roster in year one the way you did?
We had no choice. I mean, it's one of those situations that I don't get real consumed by that. Sure, do you want veterans and seniors? Maybe. But we didn't have that option. So we went out and did the very best we could in terms of filling those roster spots and those needs. creating a culture of what we hope is winning and a solid foundation with those guys. We've got a group back that wants to be here. They're excited to be here, and they've been off the charts. So whether we got new guys or veterans, they've all got to learn. It's all a year one experience of finding their way, so to speak. So it's, in certain terms, they're kind of all on the same page.
You added 4 guys once you got here. Does that maybe help get a little head start because you were able to find guys that you know will fit kind of what you're looking for?
Yeah, I think. I think that again, we were able to earmark guys that we felt were capable of helping us and guys that fit what we do. We didn't go out. We still got open scholarships. We're not going to fill the scholarships just to fill them. I think we had to fill with guys that we thought were everything we were about and fit our program. And we weren't going to bring anybody in that didn't do that. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited, for all those guys. They've got a great opportunity and to contribute and play right away.
Coach, talking about implementing the system, do you have guys watch film this summer, things like that, to get accustomed to it?
Absolutely. Technology is a wonderful thing, and we can get it to their phones, we can get it to their iPads, their computers. They can come in and watch with coaches quite frequently. But it's not just about the culture; it's about terminology and literally the encyclopedia, so to speak, of what we do in the dictionary. And the more familiar our players become with that, the easier some of this transition. We only get 2 hours a week with them on the court. And like I said, we've done very little team-wise, but just understanding vocabulary can be a huge benefit to these guys. So they watch film, and that's been a big part of being able to expand in today's world with technology.
With Trent and Mark, anything that has surprised you since they've been here, something you didn't know about them since they got here?
Well, I think Trent surprised me that he's stronger than he looks. Mark is scary strong. I think he could bench press the building, and he's just so naturally got that strength. But I've been impressed with both of how vocal they are, their knowledge, their basketball IQ is very, very high. That you don't see in a lot of freshmen. And you'd have 2 freshmen that have tremendous confidence in their abilities, and they're not afraid as freshmen to come out here and act that way, more importantly, but play that way.
How important is that for next year?
Huge. Got it. I mean, everybody on this roster needs to be ready to play, and to have guys that think that way and have the ability to do that, very important, because they're not scared. I know that those guys come out here to compete, and they don't back down from anybody.
Obviously, those freshmen, they don't know any other way but yours in college basketball. What about those returners? Is there anything mindset-wise, physical-wise, that has been the toughest for them to kind of adapt to?
Well, I think from a pace that we do things and the intensity with which we do things, I think it's probably been the biggest adjustment. I think if you ask them, we go. We maybe only do 40 minutes or an hour today, but there's no downtime. And I'm not a big talker. I explain something and we're going to jump into it. And the intensity with which we do these things, they've all made comments about that. So other than that, I don't go around and really ask them a lot, but I think that's been one of the adjustments. And then they've done a great job on their own of getting themselves in the gym and continuing to work.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.